Welcome guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, please like, share and subscribe. Please remember to tell a friend, invite a friend. Come on over guys, we speak on interesting topics on this forum. Today's topical discussion will be on harassment. Okay, so what is the term harassment? So let's see who can think. Okay, so harassment, it is a form of discrimination. It includes any unwanted physical or verbal behavior that offends or humiliate someone. Okay, so once again, harassment, it is a form of discrimination. It includes any unwanted physical or verbal behavior that offends or humiliate a person. Generally, harassment is a behavior that persists over time. Serious one-time incident can also be considered, it depends on the situation, can be considered as harassment. Okay, so if per se somebody keeps on calling your phone, as I'm just using examples, I'm just throwing out examples. If somebody keeps calling your phone, that is called harassment. Okay, that is unwanted behavior, not normal. Okay, if somebody keeps stalking you, that is a form of harassment. If someone keeps on bullying you, that is a form of harassment. If somebody keeps yelling at you in front of your peers, that is a form of harassment. Okay, in case you didn't know that, it is harassment. And it is a form of humiliation. All right, so I'm just throwing out examples out there. There's more than one examples of harassment. Somebody can sexually harass you, you understand me, by touching you and all these type of things that you did not give consent to. So like I said, there is a lot of meaning behind the word harassment. All right, we're gonna get into emotional harassment as well. All right, so harassment, it is an illegal behavior towards a person that causes mental or emotional suffering. Okay, so if you constantly keep picking and poking at someone on a day-to-day basis, if you per se keeps on verbally abusing that individual on a day-to-day basis, non-stop, constantly keep on doing it every single day, it is a form of harassment. And it is also called emotional harassment, emotional suffering, if you didn't know that. Why? Because you keep on constantly at that individual. You don't know that person's limit. You don't know how much that individual can take. It's like you're pushing that person overboard emotionally. You understand me? You don't know. It's not everybody can take on certain situation. It's not everybody strong to take on certain things. You understand? So that is actually a form of emotional harassment. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's more. You understand me? There's more meaning, there's more definition, there's more behavioral actions towards harassment. Okay, it is not a nice situation. It is an unpleasant situation which nobody wants to be in at any given time. Nobody wants to feel harassed. Okay, it is not a nice feeling. It is not. It can do emotional, psychological, and physical damage to a human, to a person. So let's please stop harassing people, whether physical, whether mental, whether emotional. Let's stop harassing people. There's a certain limit, there's a certain cutoff point where enough is enough. It is not a nice feeling. It's not a nice place to have a person going through emotional suffering. Okay? Harassment is any behavior, whether physical, verbal, written, or otherwise, that is unwanted, unwelcome, and may offend or humiliate an individual. Giving somebody an attitude is not harassment. So let me make it clear. So please do not miscode. Please do not contrude. Please do not twist and turn anything. If a person gives attitude to anyone, it is not harassment. Harassment is when you constantly keep on at a person throat every single day. And I'm pretty sure there is ways in which you can angle situation on a better note. It is a form of bullying. It is a form of tormenting an individual. Harassment is defined as an action or instant of harassing, tormenting, intimidating, daily harassment by bullies. It can also make a person feel unwanted because of your action that you're doing, unwelcoming, makes the person feel like they don't belong, they're not welcome. It is a very uncomfortable situation. It is a humiliating situation. It makes a reasonable person feel uncomfortable, humiliated. It consists of a repeating action, a persisting behavior that keeps going on towards an individual. It is torment, undermining. If a person is abusing you, insulting you, or otherwise harming or on a regular basis, It is called harassment. It's not a matter of fact harming, but if a person constantly on a day-to-day basis trying to insult you, trying to embarrass you, trying to find every single little thing to pick at you with, it is harassment. It is a cruel and an unusual, really annoying feeling. And like I said, harassment, it covers up a wide range of behaviors and offensive nature. It is commonly understood as behavior that demeans, humiliate, or embarrassment. Treating someone in a way, you understand, that harms their dignity or their psychological or physical health. So remember at first when I said, when a person constantly keep harassing a person on a day-to-day basis, you don't know that person mind frame. And like I said before, you don't know how much that person can take. You are sending that individual overboard. Stop and think for a second and ask yourself, what am I doing? How can I change the situation? How can I deal with the situation? So I'm asking, it is not a nice situation, people, to harass a person, whether verbally, whether physical, whether psychological, whether emotional. You understand? Whether financial. Yes, there is financial abuse and harassment as well, because it's taking advantage of someone's finance. Insulting and embarrassing a person. And it is not one time. It's a repetitive action. It can be once, it can be twice, it can be over, it can be a constant thing. Not everybody have that strong mind or that stronghold to deal with certain situation when it arises. So please, guys, please, by you just harassing a person constantly on a day-to-day basis, you know, if that person left, you keep on doing it on a day-to-day basis, and if that person leave you right now and you hear later on that that person die, how would you feel? Would you feel pleased within yourself? How would you feel to know that your last word with that individual was actually tormenting, was actually belittling that individual, was actually bullying that individual, was actually insulting that individual? How would you feel if you hear tomorrow that person die? Would you be able to live with yourself? The only way you can live with yourself is unless you're a callous person, a heartless individual. There's ways in which to deal with situation. Bullying, Harassing is not the way to go about it. Belittling a person, make a person feel unwanted, unwelcome, it is not a nice feeling. Always finding faults, always trying to embarrass and to insult the individual, it is not a nice feeling. Put yourself in that individual's shoe. Would you like somebody do that to you? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like it. So what says the other individual? A person gives you attitude, it does not give you the right. There's ways to deal with things on a better note and on a professional note. I had a friend that was just sharing. He was sharing his story with me, and he said he went to a dinner with a couple of friends that he used to work with. And he was surprised to hear the things that was being said behind his back. And you know, that individual took it to heart. That individual took it to heart. I'm telling you. That individual take it to heart. I watched that individual cramp. I watched that individual go red. I watched that individual sick to his stomach. Not everybody can deal with certain situations. Not everybody is strong enough to deal with certain things. It is not the way to go about situation. Stop and think for a second. There's eyes that is seeing what you're doing. You might be blind by what you're doing, or you might know what you're doing, but you don't care. But you got to stop and think about the other individual as well. You don't test a person. You don't try to test a person. It's harassment. Don't test a person to prove any point. It is harassment. It's like you get up and you tell yourself, oh, today, you know what? I'm going to test her. Or, you know, today I'm going to test him. Or today, you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to twist it this way and let that person feel. Stop for a second. Stop. Enough is enough. You have done enough. Emotionally, you have done enough. So guys, please be mindful. Please be mindful. Please be mindful. There's ways in which to deal with situation. So guys, thanks for tuning in. For those who just come on in, our topical discussion today was on harassment. Harassment goes way back, way beyond. It's actually more about harassment, which I have not touched on. I just touch a little on the basic. Harassment can take the form of insulting, derogatory, hostile, unwanted words or behavior. Harassment is considered discrimination if it is based on a personal characteristic of the person, right, who is experiencing it. There are 14 physical characteristics that are prohibited, and it is grounded for harassment. Usually repetition is what makes insulting comments and behavior into harassment, but there are situations where a single serious action can constitute harassment. It can cause an individual action of ongoing harmful effect on the person who is experiencing it. You understand? So back to what I was saying, when you do it to somebody, you don't know that person well-being. Okay? You do not have to accept harassment. There's ways in which you can deal with it. You cannot harass others. Okay, guys? So thanks guys for tuning in, and hope this discussion that we had today actually shed some light, right? And we are able to look beyond and look at how to deal with things on a different note, on a different level. There's ways in which we can deal with things if we only stop and think for a second, think for a moment, and ask ourselves the question, how can we deal with a certain situation? Or we can seek, advice from a friend or somebody, in which that can also give a helping hand to shed light on the situation. But guys, it does not give you the right to harass a person. Repeating. It does not give you the right. Not everybody can tolerate it. Not everybody is strong-minded. Not everybody can take it. There is limit. Same way there is a limit to insult. If a person insults you and you think there is limit, there is limit as well of harassing a person on a day-to-day basis, always coming to hit that person hard every single day. with something. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. Show me a perfect individual. Every single day, we all make mistake. We all make mistake. And mistakes are made so that we can learn from it. That we can make ourselves better and do things better. Nobody's perfect. No man is an island. Okay? So we are to be mindful when we keep on constantly repeating, harassing somebody on a day-to-day basis. Be careful, because you don't know today and you don't know tomorrow. You do not know what that individual is capable of because of what you constantly doing. Okay? It is not a nice feeling. It is not a nice feeling. So guys, start just stop and think for a second or for a moment or two. Okay? If I know at times we're too quick and too easy to do certain things, but just stop for a moment and ask ourselves, how best? How can we implement or try to fix or to change certain things? Harassment is not the way to go about it. Bullying a person is not the way to go about it. Insulting a person is not the way to go about it. Embarrassing a person is not the way to go about it. Making a person feel unwelcome, unwanted, belittle, it's not the way to go about it. You're making comments. I'll give you an example. You're making comments and you're saying you're complimenting a person, and you did compliment somebody. You did compliment somebody and you don't know who it is. Just because you and the person don't speak, it does not give you the right to call that individual while that individual is standing there present in the moment. You're calling that person somebody. That's insultive. That's disrespectful. That individual have a name, and you bloody well know. So let's talk about insult, and let's talk about disrespect. We are to be mindful and careful of the things that we do to people on a day-to-day basis. Put yourself in that individual's shoe and stop and think for a second or a moment. If I give an attitude, come and say, as an example, Sandra, you give me an attitude, Sandra, I didn't appreciate the attitude that you gave me. Speak to that individual. Speak to that individual about it. You're gonna bring Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Cherry, and Blossom, with you. It's like you're building a team or something against that individual. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the love, the likes, and the support. Please share the broadcast, guys. Share. Hit the notification channel. Hit the button, guys. Share it, okay? These are interesting and important topics that I speak on a day-to-day basis, and it is facts, it is reality, it is what we experience every single day. You might not be experiencing it, but there's somebody who's out there actually experiencing it, okay? And be a bit supportive to people, because it's not everybody is strong-minded, okay? But thank you guys for the love. Thank you for the support. Have a blessed afternoon and enjoy your weekends, guys. Enjoy the weekend and remember to live, love, laugh, embrace life, and live life to the fullest. And also remember, if there's someone that needs help, please give a helping hand. We're living in times now where there's recession, and we're living in, in this day and age with the COVID. Still, the COVID is not that it doesn't exist anymore. It does exist, but we don't hear much of it. But it is still present, it is still there, it is still affecting people on a day-to-day basis. So guys, please help somebody if you can. All right, give a helping hand. All right, thank you guys. Have a blessed afternoon and stay blessed, stay strong, stay humble, stay positive. Mwah.